What's up, guys? Welcome back to Wrench Avengers. Today, continuing with the Turbo 400. This is the last thing we have to do before we assemble it. Gonna be working on the valve body today. Hopefully, this is the last video you have to see from this angle. Here we are with our factory Turbo 400 valve body. He's in decent shape at best. A lot of mods to do here today on this. We'll actually be converting this stock valve body into a full manual valve body. The reason for this is that on the case where the governor goes, it had these little wings. Let's set that down. These little wings on the governor had scored up all of the case and stuff, and that's generally a sign of there being a major issue. Instead of dealing with that issue and fixing the problem or anything, I'm just going to go full manual where I can omit the governor and not have to worry about it. First thing we're going to do is take our shift selector pawl here and very carefully set him off to the side. I'm actually going to put some fluid on him just to keep him from rusting, because I don't know how long he'll sit, probably a week knowing me. So after that's done and out of the way, we're going to take our governor tubes out, and they are going to go away. We don't need them anymore. We will be plugging these holes. These holes. These two holes. Governor holes. We'll be plugging those. Next thing that I want to do, so from the teardown video, if you watched that pile of garbage, you'll know that I have an issue with the C-clip on this came off, and it scraped up everything and caused some issues. So I'm actually going to be cleaning up this pawl, or this, I keep calling it a pawl, I don't know his name, it could be Jerry, I don't know. Be cleaning up this thing so that I can get my piston back on there. We'll be leaving the spring out. I didn't have one in it because of the shift kit that was in it, so we'll be cleaning that up, and then a few other things as we get to them. So if I didn't already say let's jump into it, let's jump into it. Okay, so we've got these holes tapped. Next thing we need to do is actually loop the governor feed line by drilling a hole down here. I'll drill the hole and show you where it's at. It's drill with a 7/64 drill bit. Of course, the dullest drill bit on the planet. Okay, you can see the one with all the shavings. He is right here by my finger, if I can get it in the light. Okay, so I'll hold this here so you can pause it and find your location. 7/64 drill bit, that's what you need. Don't drill it all the way through, the back side, please. Just the front side. So basically what you're doing is you're looping, let's hold this up here, you're looping this hole with the other governor. So the governor comes out, the other governor line comes out right where we drilled that hole. And then that one can come and basically feed each other. It just loops the governors. Okay, so next job we've got is to modify the shift valve, the 1-2 shift valve. So let's get in here. Real talk. Okay, so Turbo 400s and Turbo 350s have what it's called a panic shift or the override shift or whatever, where to where if you put it into first, if you get to a certain rev range, the transmission will shift into second for fear of you blowing up the engine. That was a safety feature GM put in there, and we don't want that. We want it to hold it until I tell it to shift. So this is good if this mod, if you want to retain automatic features but still have that, you can do this mod, and that'll give you that. You can still have, you can just change this do this mod that we're getting ready to do, and not do the governors and stuff, and you'll retain auto in third, but you can hold first forever. A lot of people like to do that with towing vehicles and that sort of thing. So we're going to do it for the fact that we want full manual. Along with this mod we're getting ready to do. So what we're going to do is, again, for reference, here you go. This guy right here, we're going to pull this roll pin out and get this piston out, and we're going to do some more. We're going to do some grinding, kind of like what we did on the pump earlier, as well as we want to plug this hole. So let's start by getting this guy out. Oh God. Okay, that roll pin popped right on out. Don't lose him. Then carefully pull this piston out without raising any burrs if possible. Okay, keeping track of the order that things came out of here. Be sure that we're doing that. So the piston out front was a wee bit on the chewed side, so we'll probably do some cleaning it up. See, he's been kind of worn a little bit. You can see shiny spots along with dull spots. Okay, we'll take this moment to get the spot cleaned up so that we can actually pull stuff out of this and get ready to clean it and be able to remember where shit goes. So let's get stuff cleaned up a bit. Okay, so we got this whole guy taken apart. You can see that I've got him laid out in order of which he comes out. What we need is the thing from the very back, which is this piston. And what we want to do on this outer ring, grind two flats, one on top and one on bottom, both about a ½ an inch in length. Just grind them down flat. Again, we're just wanting fluid to bypass. And then clean up any burrs that you got in there. Get them nice and clean. You can see I laid out this paper towel. This make it easier for me to be able to pull some of this other stuff out, lay it out the way that it came out, so I know how to get it back in. There's some that'll be a little bit more difficult than others, but that's okay. And then we'll be able to clean them up. But we still got more to do to it. So start with this. I'll go grind him and be right back. Okay, done grinding. You can see that there are two flat spots on the sides now. That's what we needed. They're both about a ½ an inch long. That's what we want. Okay, next thing we need to do is plug this hole. It's the same thing that the valve came out of, but just need to get him plugged. I've seen where people used a check ball. I don't have an extra check ball. Let's see if I have set screw that's not too long. Got some pretty short, small ones, but I don't know how big he needs to be. I got a 5/16 set screw. Might have to do some modification to them. I don't know if I even have it tapped that small. We'll have to see. So I've got a 1/4 set screw, 1/4 by 1/4. The itty bitty guy you probably can't see because he's black and I'm wearing black gloves. But we're gonna try to tap this for that. I don't know. I'm afraid that the hole's too small. I might have to drill it out. Okay, so I did wind up having to drill that hole out, and in order to tap it for my 1/4 thread, in order to tap it for my 1/4 set screw, as you can see, set screw's in there now, right there. One thing to be careful of is how long the set screw is, because this is still a bore, as well as if you drill it out, you gotta find a way to deburr that. I'm going to pull this set screw back out, put some red Loctite on it, tighten it back up, and then see about deburring on the inside. Okay, he doesn't fit all the way down in there, but he also doesn't stick out of the bottom. You're not going to be able to see it, but he also doesn't stick out into the bore, which is exactly what we wanted. Okay. Next job we need to do is we need to block off this hole right here with a set screw. Blocks the 2-3 accumulator and basically stiffens up your 2-3 shift, is my understanding. So we'll get him blocked off with a set screw. Just with the tap and red Loctite method again. Okay, we want to block him off with a 5/16 set screw. I'm going to see if I can tap him without drilling him out. I think I'll be able to. Oof. Okay, so I'm using a 5/16 by 3/8 set screw. You want to make sure that it doesn't protrude too much past the surface. If it does, then you might have problems with your plate. So throw on some red Loctite. Get him started. There we go. Okay, I'm going to tighten them down. Probably could have made my threads a little deeper, but I think this is good enough. About perfect. So just don't let them protrude past your plane there. Should be good. So I think we'll start taking stuff out, get ready to clean them up. Just finish taking the rest of these bits out. Okay, so here's what we're left with. We actually still have one more shaft in there, but I'm actually going to leave it there. I'm a little scared that I won't get it back in, so I'll just clean around it. But we got that one out and these out, and so we can tell where they all go. And we'll basically just do some deep cleaning, and that's what we need. Okay, now we've got the valve body all cleaned up. I'm going to go ahead and Loctite in my governor tubes here, and Loctite the governor tubes in, and should be able to start reassembling. Okay, now those are in. I think all of our plugs are in. We'll go ahead and start putting things back together. Okay, got all those bits together. So now we need to get our accumulator piston on. Okay, so this piston just kind of needs to stay put. I don't have a E-clip for that anymore because mine broke. So I'm probably just gonna have to run to Lowe's and see if I can find one. But one of the things we want to do first is actually put something in there to keep this piston from trying to move up and down very much. Because what happened was this piston was moving up and down, and I think plugging this hole will keep that from happening because I don't see any other way for it to get fluid to it, so I might not even bother. But basically what was happening is this fluid would go in behind this and it would slam back into that E-clip until it finally broke off. So I might see what I can figure out. I've heard of people modifying like a 3/8 nut or something like that to slide down over the shaft there, and then they put the E-clip on and it keeps there from being so much pressure behind it, but I'm not sure how much I care. I might even leave it in there without an E-clip. I hate to do that, but it ran without it before, so I don't know. I'll figure that out. Other than that, I think we're good to go. Okay, next up is the plate. So as you guys know, this has a shift kit in it. I looked everything over. So as you can tell, if you can see it in just the right light, there's some areas that have been kind of ground on. See if I can find my holes that were drilled. Yeah, they're on this side. So you can see that there was some grinding done here. This hole, and this hole had all three been drilled out. The problem is that these two holes, if I can get it to where you can see that shit. Okay, this is, there we go. So these two holes are the holes that ought to be drilled, and they drilled 3 of the wrong ones. So only one of them was right. They drilled this one, but they also drilled that one, I guess, and that one. No. That one, and they drilled that one. Don't know what that one does. Right here, it's itty bitty, you can probably barely see it, but so they drilled that one, and that one. We just need to drill these two. I've read it that you drill both of these, or maybe just one, so I'll look and see. So you'll see which one I drill. Okay, so I double checked, and it is only the little hole here on the two. So that's for the second gear. This one's for the third gear. Our second gear needs drilled with a 1/8 bit. Third gear needs drilled with a 9/64 bit. If you raise any burrs, make sure that you clean them off. Here's the thing. Pretty sure that mine has obviously already been drilled larger, which is fine. You can go larger. it'll make your shifting a little harder. And let's check second here. Second can still benefit from being drilled out. So don't have to touch third, although I do need to clean up the burrs that were left by the previous person. This is just a stock Turbo 400 plate I got from a transmission shop for like $5. So good grief, that's a dull drill bit. Okay, now all we gotta do is clean up the burrs, and then we'll be good to go on this plate. So there we have it. Got them drilled out, and then I went over it with some steel wool, got them all cleaned up. Probably paint on some ATF just to keep them from, I don't know, getting shitty. So okay, so there you have it, guys. I think we're done with the valve body and any accessories with it, being the plate. I think the next step is going to be starting to actually assemble the transmission. About freaking time. So, alright, next episode we're going to be putting the thing back together. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you disliked it. Leave a comment if you have any questions about anything. Let me know if you've ever built one of these, if you've modified a valve body before. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Thanks for watching.